Alright guys, today we're playing Halo 5 in 2025. It's now 10 years since the game first got released back in 2015, so it's crazy that's been a full decade since then. And the general consensus about Halo 5, if the thing with Halo 4 was that it had a decent campaign, but a terrible multiplayer, Halo 5 was the opposite, where it actually had a pretty solid multiplayer, but a horrible single-player campaign. A lot of classic Halo fans, though, still didn't really enjoy the multiplayer for this game. They hated the fact that they added sprint into Halo, and there was a lot more weapons where you can aim down sight, so it felt more like Call of Duty to a lot of people, but Halo 4 really felt like COD for many players, because they had kill streaks, for Christ's sake, and a whole bunch of different things. Halo 5 was kind of a mishmash between classic Halo and the newer Halo. It really was a nice middle ground, in my opinion. I think it is a really fun and rewarding multiplayer experience between the gunplay, the map design, everything. I'd say they did a pretty good job, 343. I think it's a hell of a lot better than Halo Infinite. I think that is... I mean, there's some people who love Infinite, but I am not one of those people. I just wasn't... It wasn't my thing. I tried to get into it. I mean, it was free to play. I still didn't care. But it's so weird to me that Halo 5 is still not part of the Master Chief Collection when they brought every other Halo game to PC, including Halo 4, including Halo Reach. I think even ODST is part of the Master Chief Collection, so I just find it strange that we still didn't get a PC version for Halo 5 at this point. This game, I think, would play incredible on PC, not just in terms of being able to use keyboard and mouse. I think this game would play great with keyboard and mouse, but imagine an FOV slider, imagine just the higher graphics that are offered by PC, because running Halo 3 on PC, even, like, despite how old that game is, it's like a night and day difference between doing that and just playing it regularly through the MCC on Xbox One. So, yeah, I guess we're never going to get that, sadly. So if you're a PC gamer, this is like the one Halo game that you cannot play, which I can't wrap my head around why. Because Halo 5, I think, sold pretty well and was overall, like, you know, not received too great, but it was received better than Halo 4. And if Halo 4 got the MCC treatment, you know what I mean? It's just, yeah, bizarre. I would say that if you can, definitely it's worthwhile getting the Xbox and playing this game. It's kind of like just for that game. I know it's, but like, you know what I mean? Like, if you have access to it, it's, you'll have some fun. And you'll have a really good time. And it hasn't really shown its age too much. It's 10 years old, a full decade. But it's still, I think it holds up pretty well compared to modern FPS games, and even compared to the much newer Halo Infinite. And you'll still find matches with no problem for the most part. You'll definitely find more players on the MCC just because of the fact that those games are on PC and have full crossplay support. So you have much wider player base to get into matches with. Halo 5, though, it's only Xbox One, and obviously people who are playing on the Series X via backwards compatibility. And it wasn't exactly a game that took the gaming world by storm back in its prime. So it's not really a game that people look at and be like, oh, I need to come back and play this. That being said, there's enough where you can get full matches of multiple game modes, I would say. You can't play Warzone anymore, which is the large-scale game mode that they had. We don't really find any players for that anymore, or very rarely at the very least. So it's mostly like, you know, the core game modes that you come to expect from Halo, like regular Team Deathmatch or Slayer, whatever you want to call it. And you have Capture the Flag you can get every now and then. So it's still like, you know, you can get something out of it in 2025. There's just so much depth to the game, so much content, so much weapon variety, a lot of maps to play in, you know, like, so it's just a content-rich experience that if you never played it before, you'll really like it and appreciate it a lot. And if you're an old-time player who maybe 5 was your first Halo game, it's very possible, because people like, you know, like me and a lot of other people watching this video were brought up on, like, Halo 2 and Halo 3, right? But remember, we're getting old, so there's younger people now that are coming of age. If you were, like, 10 years old in 2015 and this was your first Halo game, you're now 20 years old and a full-grown adult in college or whatever you're doing. Like, so, yeah, time really does fly. It kicks you in the ass, and you can't beat it. But it's like, yeah, like, we're talking about, like, fully grown adult people who, yeah, maybe Halo 5 was their first game, and we have to accept that we're old. But yes, it's a very good experience to come back to if you are someone who really enjoyed it back in the day. Yeah, there's still servers, there's still matches. Mostly in North America and Europe. If you live outside those regions, you're probably not going to be able to find matches that easily, if at all, to be honest. I would say this is my fourth favorite Halo multiplayer. I gotta put 1, 2, and 3 above this one, but I say 5 is certainly better than 4 and Reach, in my opinion, and Infinite. So it's kind of like in the middle, but it's a solid mid-tier Halo game. Like, I'd give it, like, if we're just talking about multiplayer, if we're talking about the full game, it might be a little bit lower, like maybe like a 5 out of 10. But if we're just talking about multiplayer alone, like, yeah, it's a solid 7.5, 8, easy, and still really good 10 years later.